Chapter 10. The Statements. Morning arrived reluctantly. The storm had passed, but the sky remained heavy, a dull pewter dome pressing low over the sea. The cliffs dripped with last night's rain, and the air smelled of salt, wet stone, and something faintly metallic, the scent of a place that had witnessed too much. Inside Birkin House, the atmosphere had changed again. The tension of the chase was gone, replaced by a quiet, exhausted stillness. Officers moved through the rooms with the subdued efficiency of people who had worked through the night. Radios crackled softly, papers rustled. The house, for once, did not resist them. Nesrine sat at the long dining table, the same table where the 5 bodies had been arranged. Though it had been cleared now, the chairs pushed back, the plates removed. The emptiness of it made the room feel larger, colder. Vincent Marge sat across from her, wrapped in a blanket, his hair still damp from the rain. He looked smaller than she remembered, as though the night had carved something out of him. Arthur stood near the window, arms crossed, watching the sea. He hadn't said much since dawn. He didn't need to. His presence was enough. Nesrine opened her notebook. "Let's start from the beginning," she said. Vincent swallowed hard. "I told you everything already." "I know," she said gently, "but I need it in order." He nodded, rubbing his hands together for warmth. "I came for the silver," he said. "That's all. I swear. I didn't know anyone was here. I didn't know about the bodies." Nesrine's pen moved quietly across the page. "And the door?" "The key was in it," he said, "like someone wanted it found." Arthur turned from the window. Or someone didn't care anymore. Vincent shivered. "When I saw them, I thought it was a joke, a prank. They looked posed." "They were," Nesrine said. Vincent's eyes darted to her. "He did that?" "Yes." "Why?" Nesrine closed her notebook. "Because he wanted them to stay." Vincent looked down at his hands. "I heard him last night, before you found me. I heard footsteps. I thought it was the house." Arthur's voice was low. "It was him." Vincent nodded slowly, as though accepting something he had been trying to deny. Nesrine leaned back in her chair. "You're not under arrest, Vincent. You're a witness. A frightened one, but a witness." He exhaled shakily. "What happens now?" "You go home," she said. "You rest, and you don't come near this house again." He nodded, relief softening his features. An officer escorted him out, leaving Nesrine and Arthur alone in the dining room. The silence settled between them like dust. Arthur finally spoke. "You're not done." "No," she said. "Not even close." He moved toward the table, resting his hands on the back of one of the chairs. "What are you looking for?" "The missing pieces," she said. "The things he didn't tell us." Arthur frowned. "He told you everything." "No," she said softly. "He told me everything he believed. That's not the same." Arthur studied her for a moment. "You think there's more?" "I know there is." She stood walking toward the corridor that led to the study. Arthur followed, his footsteps quiet on the worn floorboards. The study felt different in daylight. Less sinister, more tragic. The photographs on the wall looked almost innocent now, snapshots of a life before fractures, before bitterness, before the cellar. Nesrine approached the desk, running her fingers along the edge. "He kept everything, every slight, every omission, every moment he felt invisible." Arthur nodded. "And he built a story out of it." "Yes," she said, "but stories have beginnings, and his doesn't start here." She opened the top drawer. Inside were letters, dozens of them, tied with a thin piece of twine. Some were unopened, some were torn. All were addressed to the same person, the 6th guest. Arthur leaned over her shoulder. "From them?" "No," Nesrine said. "From her." She lifted the top letter. Jane Birkin's handwriting. Arthur exhaled. He kept these. "He worshipped her," Nesrine said. "She was the sun. They were the planets, and he was the shadow. She opened the letter. It was short, warm, kind. You're too hard on yourself. You're more than you think. Come back to the house. We'll talk. Arthur's voice was quiet. She saw him. Yes, Nesrine said. And that was the problem. She placed the letter down gently. He wasn't invisible, she said. Not to her, but they made him feel like he was, and he couldn't reconcile the two truths. Arthur stepped back, running a hand through his hair. So he brought them here to rewrite the story. And when they didn't give him the ending he wanted, Nesrine said, he wrote his own. The house creaked softly as though acknowledging her words. Arthur looked at her. What now? Nesrine closed the drawer. Now, she said, we tell the truth, not his version, not theirs, the real one. Arthur nodded. And after that? She looked toward the window, where the sea had finally begun to calm. After that, she said, we let the house rest. But Birkin House, listening as always, seemed to disagree. It had more to say, more to reveal, more to remember. And Nesrine knew she wasn't finished with it yet.